outside, so if the cars are really loud, I'll probably not end up posting this.
I like me better when I'm with you. I knew from the first time.
But there's good lighting. It's beautiful out today. I live in the Midwest, and for it to be beautiful in December is really, really not common at all. So instead of screaming inside my house, I decided to scream outside my house. So we'll see. I also look disgusting, but that's because that's me. So on that note, I guess you could say, okay, please stop driving past my house. Okay. I normally don't live on a busy street. Okay, but so on that note, I'm going to explain a little bit more about what this channel is going to be. I know we kind of explained it before. And we're filming this out of order because I'm definitely filming this before we make our other videos, so I don't even know what we're going to say in that, but here's a little intro to that. So I'm going to be more of a story time, kind of with Katie. Katie doesn't know what she really wants to do right now. I think we're all in that same boat. We just know we want to get involved, we want to do something. We kind of came up with this idea one night when we were at college, and we were like, you know what, like these people, a lot of people on YouTube don't have like a real talent. They just have, you know, creativity, and they have kind of, they're not, I mean, they're funny, like they have a laughter, they have a comedian sense of humor to them most of the time, or they're like a freaking model. So that's like, it's talent, but it's not, you know, so it's like something we wanted to do. We're not really doing it for profit or to like become famous. If that happens, that's great, but we're more just doing it for fun, and like just want to see what we can do, and we just want to like be creative and have a lot of fun. We have a lot of stories to tell from college. I have a lot from high school, so I think that's what my like side of it's going to be. A lot of story times, a lot of advice. We're going to like show how to like pick your college. I mean, you're going to be really poor in college, so we're going to show tips on how to look good, dress good, feel good, protect yourself, keep yourself safe. That's going to be a big part, and just like have a lot of fun and like just funny background stories on that. And then obviously any story times that we wish to have. Also, Jordan's going to be more of, sorry, a bike person, just a bike person. Someone on a bike just ran past my house, so I was really confused. Okay. So, Jordan's going to be a little bit more of a beauty guru because she loves makeup and she's good at it. As you can see, I have no idea what I'm doing, but I think it'll be funny sometimes to show you my makeup tutorial, because people will be like, oh my god, where did you get your eyeshadow? How'd you do your makeup? And I'm like, let's go to Target and I'll show you like the cheapest brand. But anyways, let's get started on this video. So my first story time is going to be how I ran away from the cops and jumped a fence and broke my toes. So this was my summer before the first year of college, so this was last summer. And to give you a little like pre-background of why we were at this party, it was the 4th of July. We had nothing really to do. We were gonna just hang out with like, I say we, so like my friends from home, there was like 5 or 6 of us, maybe? I don't even know. There's like 10 of us in general, maybe 12, 13. I can't count properly. People keep getting added in and out of the group, so I don't know. There's somewhere around there, and but not all of us wanted to go to this party, but none of us really had anything to do that night, is what I'm emphasizing. We're not, when it comes to school, we weren't the cool kids, the popular kids. We were just kind of like the athletes, the people that were like fine. Like, we didn't really have a group. We were just like good kids. That's like the best way to put it. Like, we were just good kids. So we didn't have some big banger to go to. So I had been talking to this guy, and if he's watching this video, like, he's not gonna get mad that I tell this story, but like, he knows who he is, and it's just super funny. So I'll give you a backstory on him. I run track. I'll talk about that in some videos, how to be a college athlete. But anyways, I run track. So me and my friend Maddie went to a track camp and met this guy. We'll just call him the guy. So we met him, and that was like sophomore year of high school. So senior year comes around, we've always followed each other on things. He adds me on Snapchat, we start talking, and like he'd been asking me to come to this party because he's in college. He was a year older than me, and he'd asked him to like go to parties with him all the time, and I just didn't want to do it because I didn't know him, and I didn't think my friends were really going to be up for it ever. So I just like kept saying no. Finally the 4th of July came around, and I was like, you know what, like, I kind of want to see where this goes. I kind of want to go to this party. But this guy's college was like an hour away from my house. So I told all my friends, I was like, you can drink, you can smoke, you can do whatever. I'll be the DD. I'll take you guys there and we'll have a fun time. And they're like, that sounds great, like a college party. Like, we'll get, like, you know, whatever. So my friend Chris came with, and he's a year older than us, so he already had been to college. So we kind of just brought him along because, like, he knew what he was doing in life. So I'm really afraid my camera's going to fall over right now with the wind, but it shouldn't. It's on a tripod. Okay. So we bring Chris, Allie, my friend Maddie, different Maddie. I have 3 friends named Maddie, so you'll get confused the entire time. So anyway, one of my friends named Maddie, and we go to this party. And we don't go until after fireworks, so we probably get there at like, well, yeah. We probably don't leave until 10. It takes like an hour. We probably don't get there till 11. So the only reason why time is important here is because my mom's a tweak. I love her to death, but she's a tweak when it comes to curfew. And all my friends were coming to my house after to sleep over, so they didn't tweak about the time, but I was, because I was going to get in trouble if I didn't bring everyone home by like 1. So there's a whole backstory, I think, of why my mom's a tweak about that, but a lot of the reasons why I get in trouble are because of my curfew. So anyways, I mean, she's kind of right. I am always doing bad things after like 11. But anyways, so we go to this party, and I'm completely sober. I'm just gonna put that one out there. I normally am, you know, kind of the party girl, but this time I was completely sober. So we go to this party. This party was not even big. It wasn't small, but like, I mean, it was really crowded in the house, but it wasn't spilling out into the lawn. There was nothing like insane. No one was like running around. Like, it was contained, and it was the 4th of July, so there was cars lining this street, and they could have been at anyone's house. Like, everyone was throwing a party. So let's just enter with that. There were bouncers at the door. They had literally, well, I wouldn't call it, I don't know, they had security. They had their friends standing there, basically kind of only monitoring who was coming in and out. So I had to say who I knew in the party and who invited me. So we get in. It's kind of awkward. I've never met this guy in person since camp, like a few years ago, where we barely talked. So at first, like, it's a little awkward, but he's super cool and he's super outgoing. So long story short, the party's going fine. My friends are a little bored. They don't really know anyone, but there's like alcohol and like, I don't know, games to play. So like, they're having fun. So let's remember this. I don't know if my friend Allie's gonna want me to tell this, but I'll take it down if she gets mad at me. So her and Chris go out to my car and they get more alcohol because these guys had a mantle, and the mantle, you could put like alcohol that you had finished on there. So there was just a bunch of bottles all over the mantle. Remember this part of the story, please. It's important. So there's a bunch of alcohol bottles on this mantle. So then my friend Allie's like, I want to put this on the mantle. So she either gets this alcohol, or I don't even know. Somehow she finds this alcohol. She chugs it. I'm talking probably 4 shots. Just chugs it, and then puts it on the mantle. I kid you not, probably about 5 minutes later, someone yells, "The cops are here." And I just look at my friends, and they just look at me, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. Like, I brought you here. I am so sorry. So we look at Chris, and because he's been in college, and he's probably dealt with the cops, he's in a fraternity, and he was like, it's fine. Like, if they come in, don't panic, just kind of calmly try to walk out the door or sneak around them. They're going to be looking for people. Just try not to make eye contact and just try to like get away from them. And our game plan was, once you get out the door, it's every man for yourself, get back to the car. And like, once we had everybody, we would go. So then they start closing all the blinds, closing all the windows, closing the windows, yeah, okay. Closing the doors, everything. Everyone was inside basically anyways, so it was fine. But they cleared all the alcohol off the porch, and they just try to keep everyone inside. So imagine all these drunk people freaking out because basically, if you go out the door, the cops are allowed to come inside. So they were freaking out, but we weren't letting them out. So every time a cop would bang on the door, everyone would scream because they're drunk. And it was just so annoying because obviously the cops know there's a bunch of people inside. They're not opening the door, and like, it was just dumb. So the cops had literally a stakeout for maybe 30 minutes of us just in this living room, piled around each other, just trying to hush everyone. Everyone else, like the people of the party, were like cleaning up every single thing. So they had to clear this whole mantle off of all the alcohol. They're clearing all the beer pong tables. They're like putting all the tables away, like everything. And I'm like trying to help them because I'm sober, and I'm like, just let me help you. I feel bad. Just let me help you. So my friends are freaking out. Meanwhile, they're like, Anna, like, I don't know what to do. Like, my parents are gonna be so mad if I get a ticket. I was like, trust me, I know I'm not even supposed to be here. So I look at my watch. It's like midnight, and I'm like, okay, like, we were supposed to leave right now. Like, I told my mom I'd be back by 1:30. I said I was gonna be late anyway. She was already okay with it. So we had about 30 minutes to waste until I had to panic. So I was like, all right, like, the cops are not gonna wait more than 30 minutes. So we hear that the cops left and they're gonna come back with a search warrant. We're all scared to death. So, so we basically, we're like freaking out. I don't even know how to explain it. But then they say, no, they didn't all leave. Because there was 7 squad cars. 7 of them. It was so unnecessary. I didn't know anyone at this party. I was like, ah! So there were 7 squad cars. 1 stayed while the rest of them got a search warrant. So we still couldn't get out of the house. I mean, if we all really like pushed out of this house and ran, like the idea of her actually getting us all is obviously not possible, but like we didn't want to chance it. So their genius ideas, who are in charge of this party, were like, everyone under 21 go upstairs. We're gonna let them in. And we were like, go upstairs? Like what? We were just sitting ducks. We were literally sitting ducks. And so they shove us all into these rooms. They put all the alcohol upstairs because they can't throw it out. So there's just in garbage bags all over the room. And I'm just like, alright, like I'm getting a ticket. Like I can pay for it. I think I'm going to be in jail. So as I'm looking around, Chris is freaking out. Me and Allie start freaking out. And then I remember Allie is literally dying. She had just chugged 4 shots. She's not a big girl, so she has a tolerance, but it's not that big. So I literally sit there and she's like, and I can't do it. And I was just like, oh my god, like I forgot you were literally pissed drunk. She was honestly containing herself very well. So we're sitting there and all of a sudden we start like hearing some noises. We're in like we were in the bathroom, but we moved into, so the bathroom connects to a bedroom. But we start hearing some noises in this bathroom. And about 10 minutes later, 2 guys walk out and they're like, yeah, we just had sex. And I was just like, I'm done. I need to go home. Like, please just let me go. I don't know what I did to deserve this. Like, I'm sober and I'm gonna get a ticket because I'm at a party. And these guys just decided it was okay to have sex while we were under attack by the police. Like, So after all this, Allie goes, where's Maddie? And I was like, oh my god, like, I don't even know. So I had been noticing that Chris had been staring out the window for about 10 minutes now. And I look at him and I'm like, what are you looking at? And he's like, Anna, like, I kid you not, people are hopping this fence. And I was like, you're kidding. That means they honestly have opened the door downstairs and the cops are downstairs. And he's like, I don't know, like, there's not enough noise downstairs. We would hear, like, loud voices being like, not put your hands up, but, like, stay where you are, like, all this stuff. And there was nothing like that. So we were just like, this is really weird. So we hear through the grapevine that they are underground railroading people out of this party that are underage and over this fence. Well, meanwhile, the 21-year-olds are outside talking to the cops, basically giving us a way out. That's what we hear. Later on, I hear it's less of an exciting story. I really honestly don't even know what the full, like, thing that happened with the cops was, thank God, because I didn't have to see a cop that night. But anyways, so there's this fence, he says, and he's like, this is our way out. Like, we have to do this, otherwise this cop's coming in our house. And I was like, yeah, you're probably right. And I was like, that's fine, like, we can hop a fence. And Allie's like, we can't hop a fence right now. And I was like, girl, like, you got it. Every man for himself. So Chris is like, there's just one problem. And I was like, what is it? He's like, the fence, it's level with my eyes. And I was like, what? We're on the second story. The fence was level with his eyes. It was 12 feet tall. Yeah, that was an interesting time in my life. It was 12 feet tall. So, and it was wood. So, we are like, we're just gonna take our shot. So most of us start walking down kind of quietly, but a little bit of a hubbub. And I yell out, I'm like, Maddie, where are you? And like someone's like, who are you looking for? So I tell him his name. Everyone starts yelling. Finally, I'm like getting pulled along by Allie and Chris. And I'm like, ah. And finally, Maddie just grabs on out of nowhere. And I'm like, all right, here we go. So this big dude like opens the door. He's like, all right, you're good. Go, go, go. And we just book it to this fence. Our idiot minds don't realize that on the sides, I mean, they still had fences on the side, which we probably couldn't have hopped, but there were like boxes that we could have used, but no, we were going straight for the 12-foot one. Like, we weren't gonna hop on the electrical box and go over the 6-foot one. Like, the 12-foot one seemed like the best option. So Chris was already on the top of it by the time I got there, and I was like, all right, like, we gotta go. So there were rungs. I think that's what they're called, in these big, like, in this big wooden fence. So thank God, I'm terrified of heights. I'm the girl who, we went to Colorado, or we go to Yellowstone, or like places like that a lot, to go hiking and stuff like that, and I won't get out of the car once it starts becoming a little too high for me, because it scares me, like, it just scares me so much. I'm so afraid of falling. I'm just, that feeling. Like, whenever you, like, fall in the middle of the night, you know, and it feels like you're falling, you wake up, that is my biggest fear. Like, I hate when my body does that to me because I just hate it. But, you know, I'm like, I gotta do this. I'm not getting a ticket. So I start climbing up this fence. I'm, like, 5'2" on a good day. And I'm like, oh, my God, this is two whole knees plus a little bit more. So I'm, like, climbing. I get to the top and Allie's like, I can't do it. And I was like, girl, we're leaving you here. And she's like, okay. So her drunk ass decides to jump up onto this fence and start climbing. So we get on top and I'm like, oh God. We're sitting on top of it. And finally I'm like, okay. So I swing down, but I grab on. So I'm like hanging now and I'm like, like looking down. I'm like, I can't think too much. So with one hand I drop, the other scrapes like halfway down. My hand is bleeding. And then I land, and I, like, kind of stumble a little bit, and I realize, like, ow? But, like, I didn't know at that point in time I had broken my toes. So I look up, and Allie's holding on the same way I did. I was like, you have to let go, you have to let go. Maddie jumps down. Allie jumps down. She rips her whole hand, like, way worse than mine, like, skinned it, and I was like, oh, my God. But we still, like, we gotta go. So we run across this 4 lanes of traffic. That's why they have a 12-foot fence, because it's, like, the busiest freaking street in this town. Like, I can't even compare it. Like, it literally is a mini highway. We book it across. It's, like, 1:30. I'm like, my mom's gonna kill me. She's already texting me, where are you? And I was just like... I'm helping the drunk people at Michelle's house. And she's like, get home now. And I'm like, oh my God, we're an hour away. So I like shut my phone off. I'm like, can't deal with that right now. We make it back. We like Google our way back to my car. We get in my car. I mean, there's like we get back to my car and we go home. And we finally get home at like 2 a.m. And my mom's like, I don't remember if she must not have been standing there. It must have been the next morning where she was like, what the hell? But I was just like happy to be home. I washed my feet off. I realized my one toe is like so broken, like not going the right direction. It's swollen. I'm like, oh God. And I'm running collegiate cross country in like a month, and like I'm not gonna lie, for a week, like 3 weeks of that up to Lollapalooza, my toe was very broken. I couldn't stand on it. It was just so bad. So that's the story. The funny part is, oh, well, this isn't funny. Someone jumped over that fence, broke their leg. Someone at the house had to take their friend to the hospital because they broke their leg hopping the fence. To find out, this cop didn't even give the house a ticket. The person that called the cops was at the party and was like, I'm mad they kicked me out. They're having a party, underage drinking. Get them. So, like, it wasn't loud. Their neighbors didn't care. And, like, I was 50 minutes away. I didn't even live there. And, like, I ended up, like, dating this guy for a little bit. So, like, I would go back to his house and I would look at this fence and just be like, you! And then going in his backyard in the daylight and seeing the fences on each side that I could have jumped over was just really depressing because my toe was like still broken. So that's my story. If you have crazy stories about cops, please leave them. I think I have like one more that I'm gonna share, but that's my one that was really exhilarating. Honestly, it's mostly exhilarating because my mom is crazy about curfew and I just thought I was gonna die.